Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk and I'm Heidi Smith. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the United Kingdom, and today we're using up scraps. And you can see here this is a card that I I cased the idea of cutting the vases out of some scraps of Mosaic mood, which I happened to have on my desk at the time. So I'm just going to continue that theme really. So this is using the lovely vibrant vases, as you can see here, a bit of terracotta tile ink. I should be using a little bit of early espresso as well, just to kind of shade around the vases, just to give them a little bit of definition. And other than that, we're using two punches. So first of all, we're using the Vibrant Vases or Vase Builder punch. And then the other punch that we're using is this one here, which is the Label Me Lovely punch, which is a particular favourite of mine, not least all because it's a really good size for punching out sentiments. So let's get started. This is a great, it uses minimal scraps of paper, but it's a great way to make a quick card. And I'm making lots of thank you cards at the moment. I think just thanking those people who are doing their bit to keep us all going, which is quite fantastic. So first of all, you're going to need a piece of Whisper White. I'm not using Whisper White at all. I'm using Very Vanilla. So here's a piece of Very Vanilla. I'm using the thick Very Vanilla cardstock, and I'm just going to trim that down to 14.5 centimetres in length, 5 3/4 or 5.5, depending on if you're in the US. Just half a sheet of A4 for your card base, and then again score for me 10.5 centimetres, 4 1/8 in the UK, and that just creates our standard card base like so. Now on my original card I had quite a thick scrap of the trim. I've literally just picked out this little bit here, and you can see this is about, it's just under a centimetre. So I'm going to cut a piece of cardstock that is 14.5 centimetres wide, hopefully, yeah, by just over a centimetre. So I'm going to sort of take it to about just over about 1.2, and then trim that down. And again, usual way, when you're trimming narrow pieces, just pop it right up to the top and push it up, because you've got a nice little bar there. So there, hopefully we have our little shelf. There we go. Yep, that's absolutely perfect. Just for us to add together. Okay. So I'll put my trimmer to one side. So here's our card base. We've created our layer. Now to create our vases. So I have just got scraps. You can see they're the sort of scraps that usually you might just throw away. And all you need to do is, to get the most out of these, is to grab a post-it note. And then decide what vase you're going to cut out of what. Now I rather liked the way this worked with the central swirl, so I'm just going to pop that in there and attach it a bit more firmly and decide which way I might pop it in. So just play around with it, and then you see there, you see I can just line up that kind of eye in the middle there for one of our vases. So we've got a large vase. Let's go for one of the smaller vases. And so you can play around with this however you like. And this Mosaic mood is just an absolute, yeah, it's perfect. I'll put the link to the lady that I first saw who'd done this, and then I've already cut out actually a little one. I did that on my first one. So you can see 3 vases cut out really, really quickly. Then I'm going to come in with my Label Me Lovely punch and a little bit of our Very Vanilla cardstock. So just a small scrap here. So I'm going to want 2 pieces. As you can see from my original card, I'm going to want a small one for the bottom and a larger one for the top. So this first one for the top, I'm just going to cut a complete one, and I'm going to cut a complete one out of my terracotta tile. So, and then for the bottom one, I'm going to actually do my stamping first. So again, with the stamping, this is you can use your markers if you want to. If you've got the markers that go with this, that is a great way of doing it. If not, then pop a post-it note onto your stamp to mask off the bit that you don't want to be inked up. Then take your ink pad. So I'm just putting that down the crease and just ink it up really well, like so. Take off your post-it note, and then I'm going to pop my thanks on the edge there. Put my ink away, although I've already managed to put my thumb in it, no surprise there. And then pop that in as far as you want to get that to thanks. Now I want just a fairly narrow one, so I'm just lining up the bottom of the thanks with those points on the corner there. And then I'll trim that down on the top in a moment. So all I'm going to do is just cut a half shape out of that. And then let's pop a bit of glue on the back of our shape and just line up our little shape. I'm just going to pop that on face down actually. And just trim that through. And then for the larger one, I'm not doing any stamping on this, so I'm just popping some glue on the back of the shape, and again just creating a small border on the top there. So that's going to be where our shelf is going to go. Pop your DSP strip, and again, say it just goes to show you, just keep all those offcuts. You never know when they're going to come in handy. There we go, we're starting to get our shape. Now I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals along with our thanks. So I'm going to add the thanks to the back at this end first. Again, just making, we don't quite want it at the very end, just pop it like so. Mini dimensionals are great for this because you can just pop those along that edge. If you struggle with getting your mini dimensionals off, take your pick tool to get those out. So, and then we can bring in our card base. And all I'm going to do is just take my snips and trim that bottom section off there. So, because that's going to go on our card here. So this is going to go on again on a couple of dimensionals on the back there. And I'm going to pop that just behind. I might need to move one of my dimensionals. Should have thought of that first. Yeah. Just pop those like so. So there's our shelf coming together quite nicely. And the last one over here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do with my little vases is I'm going to gently shape them using whatever I happen to have about. Here we go. just shape them as you know, sort of curve a vase like so. Oh, actually I've done two of the different shape. Oh well. Let's see what I've got to hand. Just grab a bit of, I've just got a small makeup brush here which I'm just going to use just to do a rubbish job actually of inking on the edges there. I'm going to go back to my tried and tested, here we go. Just roll the edge into the ink. So all I'm doing is just taking that and rolling it and then just on the edges like so. And all that's left to do is pop a dimensional on the back of those vases, a couple on this taller one, then we're just going to stamp and cut out the flowers, colour those as well. Says hopefully. Seem to have been wittering on a bit today. So. I'm going to pop that one in the middle there, ready for our flowers. As you can see, you know, even though I've sort of done two the same shape of these vases, surprising how, you know, pretty they look all together anyway. I'll pop this onto our card, and then all I need to do is just take a scrap, other scrap of Very Vanilla to do our flowers. So I've literally just got a little bit here. You can tell, a bit of a hoarder. Those scraps don't go to waste. I have a little pocket that I pop each of them in. So, pop our creation there. And then all I've got is I'm going to use my terracotta tile ink pad for the flowers. I'm going to pop there. And then to infill, I'm just going to stamp off once. So I'm going to ink it up really well. And I'll just stand up. Try and get those reasonably lined up. And then it's a very quick, take the old snips and just go around the outline there. And the lovely thing about the vibrant bars is they've got some sort of real texture to those infill stamps. So you've straight away got a little bit of texture, sort of variation really in shading. Again, if you've got some markers, you could pop in and just colour those leaves with a touch of green if you wanted to, whatever you happen to have to hand. Mint macaron obviously is in the Mosaic Mood papers. But as I said, it's just a very quick card just to pop together using up whatever scraps you happen to have. As I say, and it just happened to work with Mosaic Mood, which you've seen I've been desperately trying to use up my Mosaic Mood paper. So just shape that slightly, add a dimensional just to the bottom here. And if we pop those flowers there, that just colours up that nice smudge which I managed to put on there as well. And there we have a pretty thank you card using scraps of Mosaic Mood to hopefully to cheer up anybody's day. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again soon. Let's have some more inspiration. Bye now.